Oh, that was a good hunt. I enjoyed that. Cheers, man. Well, Trent and I are going to go for a bow hunt today, try and get another goat. So, got the esky full. That's critical for getting meat straight on ice to help it with setting, and it's getting a bit warmer in summer now, so we don't want to take that risk of having meat get tainted. Trent and I have come to one of Trent's spots for a goat, and as Trent's coming down this hill, we did a big session on zurcher squats yesterday, and for any of you that don't know what zurchers are, they're kind of like a front squat, but you've got the rack in between your arms, between your elbows, and you squat right down. So we were doing max efforts in the week, and I think he's a bit tender. So we've just come down from up there where the vehicle is. The wind's not the greatest today, it's blowing southeasterly, southwesterly. The good thing is that the southerly aspect's going to give us the ability to get on the northern side of a system, and then we'll work our way back down towards the southerly and see if we can pick up any goats or pigs in the spot. Both of us just taking the bow. Western Australia is not known for its wild deer hunting opportunities, but feral pigs and goats are pretty widespread across some parts of the state. In fact, some of the terrain the goats inhabit is fairly ordinary and shows how hardy and adaptive they are to not only survive, but in some cases, thrive. As summer approaches and the weather warms up, the flies were out in droves. You want a bit more of a rounder knuckle? Yeah, just a bit squarer, a bit fatter, a bit squarer. Yeah, it's like a square hock. Whereas the goats will still splay a bit. Pigs don't splay as much. Oh, so it's more squarer. The change in canopy cover and soil condition is noticeable when moving from a slightly southern facing slope to a northern facing slope. The northern aspects are very dry, with a sparse canopy cover that results in less leaf litter, while on the southern aspects the canopy cover is more dense, with more leaf litter, darker soils, more wildflowers, and often more green pick. We decide to climb to prominent vantage points to glass, where we spot goats in some rocky patches.
Now I'm seeing them on the granite. Now it makes sense, this other granite spot up here. Looks like they're bedding down hard in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's other goats bedding down there too.
We make an approach into the wind, which is often swirly and intermittent. We get to within 10 to 15 metres of a family group, but they are browsing and constantly on the move through the scrub, making it difficult to get a clear shot. Here it comes. Just stay still. And as is often the case while stalking in close to your quarry, a slight shift in wind can be a game changer, and in this instance, they all spooked. Eager to get out of the wind, we dropped into the main creek where the wind was more predictable and headed for another family of goats.
There's a bit of pig sign.
I love digging in amongst these fallen trees and leaves with bugs in them. As we approached the riverbank, Trent was caught off guard by a third family of goats that we were totally unawares of at less than 10 metres. This caused Trent to rush through his setup and even forgetting to remove his backpack. Trent's just had a revelation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a 10-metre shot, so it's like, that's about as easy as it gets. But it did feel weird, and then I came down here, my arrows are green, and I saw this line on the ground. I was like, oh, what are the chances of something green being down here and not being my arrow? Didn't think much of it. And I thought, because I tightened up my bow so much, I put it up to max, I thought maybe I did something wrong and the string wasn't on properly. Then we just went back after you took your shot, and I went to have a drink, and my drink bottle's broken, and I've got my camel string coming out, and as I've drawn back, I didn't take my backpack off for the shot. Must have come back, that's caught in the string and then ripped off, And that's why the arrow's bloody gone a million miles to the left, and the strings come off the bow. That's really dangerous. Really dangerous. It could have been a lot worse, eh? It could have been really bad. So keep your drink tucked in, or keep it in your backpack, eh? That's pretty bad. But yeah, that's what's happened. That's how you miss a 10-metre shot.
Well, I've just had a bit of a balls up actually. Had a goat come into about 15 yards and it was front onto me, quartering onto me I should say, and it had pinned me, and it was just on the other side of that bit of scrub there, and the arrow's gone a little bit behind where I wanted it to go obviously, so it's collected through its midsection. So, big black billy goat. And Trent had a couple of shots in his stuff's come off, his strings come off his bow. So,
It's hit on top of the back. That's my first shot. There's hair on it.
yeah, okay.
No blood, but
Blood tracking is an integral skill to learn, and even the most well-placed shots, even though this wasn't necessarily so, can sometimes result in little to no external bleeding. This required a slow and thorough search for any clues. Often I would need to get down to ground level just to find slight specks of blood or hair, or smears as the goat had moved through the scrub. Sometimes our tracking efforts may not turn up the animal, and this is a difficult pill to swallow, but in this instance my goal was clear, and it was to find the goat and recover every bit of edible high quality free range protein. After a bit of searching, I found the arrow. It's hit it square in the shoulder. I actually got into 33 metres and it was just too much scrub, I couldn't get a shot in. But there's a good pile of blood where it was standing and it's just pushed off. So yeah, I'll carry on round. Trent's cams, as a string came off the cams, and he's just snuck down river and got onto a really good billy in a family of 5 or 6, so he's got no arrow to send. We've got one animal anyway. I just need to find it now, take the carcass out and then deal with the meat. Fair bit of flies, quite warm today, about 26, 27. Yeah, anyway, let's put this thing out. Bit of goat meat here.
yeah, that is substantially bigger. You want to talk about what happened?
Oh, just a first bad shot, followed by a long track. He's pulled up just here.
Yeah, he's big, man. How much do you reckon he weighs?
It'd have to be 50 or so kilos. Oh man, that broadhead. Ooh. Man, he's bent broadheads, snapped arrows. But let's take some of this meat off. I want to try and deal with it before these, well actually if we wait a little bit longer the flies will disappear. But he's well, he's the biggest billy I've had a go at with the bow, so
Jesus.
just want to get it up so that I can throw it over my shoulders.
Are you going to hook it in like a backpack?
Nah.
You're just going to carry it like that?
Yeah, we'll get you carry.
Oh man. You're a mad dog.
Surprised at how heavy the goat was, probably mainly from its thick matted hide. I'd have guessed it was as heavy as some of the red hinds that I've packed out of the New Zealand bush, somewhere between the 50 to 60 kilos.
What's the furthest you've carried an animal?
I wouldn't carry it like this, I'd carry it like a backpack.
What do you reckon though?
Oh, it'd be kilometres.
But?
It's like doing a Zercher session, eh? With a live dead weight.
Boy's got some abs. I gave up on that dream.
I don't have any string, so I've cut the front hock and then broken the leg so it's a bit malleable, and then I've cut open the back Achilles joint there and just put that in here and twist that around. Kind of have, yep, that's one handle, so I like to go in, out, from inside to the outside. I hate to do this, but that's going to smell, having the arse up against my oh, goat's a bit smaller than a bloody deer.
Oh my
There
god.
we go.
He's up. Oh. Oh, bro.
It's coming. It's coming. Oh. Oh. Fuck, this goat's having the last laugh now.
Oh man, that's funny.
That was not pretty sight. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. The carry out was a little over an hour, reaching the ute after sunset to enjoy a well-earned beer. All of the meat has been processed and put into vacuum sealed bags for the slow cooker over the coming months. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this movie, give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers.